this video, I'm going to try and help save you from possibly ruining your miniatures by using a old spray can to spray them with. And this applies to, in particular, the new Rust-Oleum modern upside down spraying cans. I've messed up miniatures at the beginning process with the priming, and what's particularly heartbreaking is when you've finished your miniature and you've painted them up, and especially if you're new, you might be blown away with your own results, and you go to seal them and it completely destroys your work. So here's a couple of tricks that I've learned the hard way in dealing with these kinds of caps in particular. Traditionally, spray paint cans come with a nib that is somewhat similar to this, and they do not spray upside down. And the way we use that to our advantage is, if you read the instructions, is after you spray your work, you hold the can upside down and you spray, you depress the nozzle, and it will only expel the solvent, and the solvent itself passing through the nib will basically blow out any paint residue and kind of self-cleaning nib. Currently, a lot of brands, particularly Rust-Oleum, for whatever reason, they have this like sprays upside down thing, which I've done a lot of spray painting in my time, and I can't imagine needing to spray upside down. I've never done it, and I probably never will. What happens, and this was extremely frustrating because I almost considered these as one-use cans of spray paint, because it's like the first time you use it, it works great, and then the second time you come back to use it, you have this residue on the nib here, and as paint is coming out, the paint catches the ridges of the old paint, the hardened paint, and ends up spattering. Even if you can't see it, a lot of times, unfortunately, you see it painfully after you've already sprayed your miniature, and you look really closely, which we all do. Miniatures sort of retrain our eyes to look at things extremely closely. So that will carry on to my craft paint and versus Citadel later. I was about to order a bunch of replacement nibs. They were quite expensive. And I noticed, or I thought of a trick, and it actually worked really well. This spray paint uses acetone as a solvent, and so it occurred to me to try and clean the nib off with just straight acetone, and it works. It brings the nib surface back to a brand new like finish. Anything inside the nib should be blown out when you spray the can again, because the solvent will come up through the can and clear out the internal part. But the surface is what really is the gotcha part. So just to demonstrate, handy dandy can of acetone. Here's the evidence. This is real acetone. So just to show, here's some overspray here. This probably wouldn't be as important, but just get some acetone on a Q-tip, and as you can see, it's coming off. So, and that in particular. So that surface was completely gray. Now I've just got a hardened inner layer of gray spray paint. And you can see it's thicker it's thicker specifically around the hole. And that is the part that is going to really hurt you in your work in particular. So I just work this off slowly. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on camera as well as I can, but that looks like a completely brand new nib now. And then also I'll just take a little bit more, and then, whoa, a lot more. Okay, luckily I didn't get that on my pants. But I'm just gonna make sure it kind of gets into there a little bit. And then it's going to air dry, and there you go. So in addition to this tip for how to salvage your Rust-Oleum spray paint cans, I also would, in addition, recommend that you shake them a lot, obviously, but soak. I'll set the stopper in my sink, and I will fill it up with hot water as I'm preparing, like putting my miniatures on like a stick or whatever they're gonna paint them on. But anyway, slowly heating up the can with like not boiling water, but just out of the tap as hot as it will go. I let the can sit in there while I prep my stuff. I come back to it after whatever, 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and then I shake it up really well again. As it heats up, the pigment and the paint will thin out and get more malleable. So then, like every 5 minutes, I'll drain the water and I'll put fresh hot water and let it absorb all the heat. Shake it up again, all the way until I take it outside, and that ends up basically smoothing the paint out as you spray it. So, but if you do not clean your nibs, it won't matter how smooth the paint is, because it will hit the ridge of the paint and just spatter. Hopefully a very pain-saving tip. Thanks for watching.